Hi, welcome to Revenue Marketing Television, the CMO Insights series. I am your host, Jeff Pedowitz, President and CEO of Pedowitz Group. Today as our guest, we have Akbar Jaffer, who is Chief Marketing Officer at ZorroSign. Akbar, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks. It's good to be here.
Great to have you. So maybe to start off for people that don't know what ZorroSign does, give us the classic elevator pitch.
So ZorroSign is your typical digital transaction management solution, which has the electronic signature components and workflow builders, smart forms, and so on. However, we have a very unique solution that detects the fraud and signature tampering in PDF documents. So we provide solution to fintechs, banks, and insurtech.
All right, so you'd be competing against like a DocuSign and Adobe Sign?
Yes, in some ways we do. But to my knowledge, we're the only game in town that has the fraud detection technology using the blockchain platform.
Okay, so that makes it even cooler already. You're running on top of blockchain. So,
yeah.
How did you get over to ZorroSign?
My background has always been in the enterprise software space, and a very good friend of mine and a fellow board member who co-founded the company was looking to retire, and he asked me if I would like to come on board and help him build the company. So here we are.
So tell us a little bit about your strategy. You know, how are you going to market? What are some of the things that you're focused on?
You know that the electronic signature space is a very saturated market. However, there are solutions that are not meeting the customer requirements, and so we focus on solving the one major problem that almost everybody faces, which is once you have an executed contract in the PDF form, of course, you have to share it with everybody. So how do you know that the PDF document has not been modified or altered or tampered with? Because it's very easy to modify those documents by using the Adobe Acrobat Reader. So we focus on just filling that, the pain point. So that makes my go-to-market strategy very easy. We basically look at the market segments that are vulnerable to document frauds, and we just help those companies fix that gap.
I like it. So, so tell me a little bit about the people that you're hiring and the team that you're building out, and is it different, let's say now in 2018 than it was a few years ago of what you're looking for?
As you know, the marketing is really part science and part creativity. And for me, marketing is really a philosophy, and it's really in the DNA of the company, and it's not a role of a single department for me. So I strongly believe in the academic approach, and I support the continuing education of my team. So I believe in cultivating the marketing generalists, or what I call, for the marketing and the sales roles. And I also believe in cultivating the employees in the rest of the company as my walking billboard. So when I'm looking for marketing folks, I'm really looking for people who are all-rounders. I want the social media expert to really understand how the website works, and I want my web development team to really understand how the marketing automation works. I do not like to keep them in isolation. So as I mentioned, that marketing is more of a philosophy. I use an example. Businesses often don't think about offering product training to their switchboard operators and their admins. But the fact of the matter is that those individuals are the front line of communication, and they're at the front line of customer interaction. So I kind of see that as a holistic approach.
So if I could paraphrase, really everybody's in marketing, right? So even though they might not directly report to you, you're taking a holistic enterprise company-wide focus on.
Everybody's in marketing, absolutely.
All right, I love it. Does everybody serve the customer too?
They do. One way or the other, we all exist to serve the customers, because without the customers, we don't exist.
Amen for that. So tell me a little bit, maybe how are you organizing your marketing and your budget and your programs? How much is geared towards, let's say, net new customer acquisition, and how much is allocated towards building and growing existing customers?
So that answer differs for ZorroSign compared to what it has been in the past for me, because ZorroSign is a very, very early age startup. We launched the product about 10 months ago. So most of my focus and budget and activities is on acquiring new customers, obviously. We do have about 5,000 users and zero churn. So we're very happy about that. Nice.
Okay. So, but pretty much the sky's the limit, right? Go get those customers and grow the base.
Yeah. That's correct. I would say though about 10 to 15% of my time is spent with the existing customers, because we learn from them. It's a new product. We look at their use cases and we turn them into case studies.
Okay. And since you're really just getting out of the gate, what are some of the things that you're doing to get the scale in terms of process, technology?
So I come from a CRM background and from marketing automation background, and I've spent a big chunk of my career as a business process optimizer. So when I look at my company, when we have to grow, I look at it from the perspective of building a solid foundation so that we can build repeatable processes from that and that scale. So we started out, and I'm being very tactical. We started out with a solid CRM system and a marketing automation system. We had the processes all laid out, all the training laid out, and then we hired people, and we basically went all out, spending a lot of money with the organic acquisition of the leads, as well as trade shows, and we started out with some list buying as well in the early stages.
Okay. So what are going to be some of your primary things that you're going to invest in, though, as you hit growth mode?
Strategically speaking, we're going to be spending a lot of money and time and effort in really educating the market, because the problem that we are solving, many have not faced it, or they have not heard about it. The document frauds are not reported widespread.
If document fraud isn't being reported widespread, how do you know the degree of the problem?
So that's a very good question. So we are working directly with the judges and the courts and the lawyers and the legal community, as well as the industry leaders in the real estate, in the financial services, where they have seen those problems that just have not reported them widespread. I give you a very good example. So there was a couple that forged a judge's signature and counterfeited a court order in a baby custody trial. And this was ended up reporting into the news because it became a huge deal. And here's one more example, which I'm sure you've heard of. About 3 months ago, the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was caught red-handed doctoring up his real estate deal documents, and so that was a huge deal as well. So there are cases. We have identified them, and we work with the leaders in those industry spaces, like the judges, and to solve those problems.
Nice. No, I would really love the stories too. It brings a direct connection, and you can really start to visualize why it's so important. It's really fascinating. So, as you've progressed through your career in marketing, what do you think has been one of the bigger changes that we've seen?
When I started out in marketing automation was part of the CRM, where we were just managing leads. And I'm talking about the type of, I'm talking about the time of Siebel CRM and all that. And the things have come a long way. I think the major shift that I'm seeing, and I'm happy about that, is that there is really, marketing is very heavy on measurable metrics and revenue engineering and data science. I really appreciate that we can now make marketing a revenue center, if you will. It's not a cost center anymore. So when I look at the marketing and the changes that I can bring, or the changes that I have brought, are the way that we run this business. So things like net marketing contribution, the revenue cycle management, the cost per lead, and the conversion metrics to drive the top level business. And then I use the business process optimization, cost of business, and then automation to drive the bottom line improvement. So there's a lot more levers that we have in order to run a business in a very optimal way.
Yeah, it really is. It's fascinating, and just with all the information, gives us more insights to make more decisions, or potentially make more mistakes, right?
Well, that's true as well. You can click one button and send out 15,000 emails, and if you make one mistake on it, you just hurt your brand.
No pressure. It's okay.
No pressure at all.
Does that explain maybe why CMOs don't make it much more than a couple of years? Or it's probably not the mistakes as much as it is the return on investment, though, right?
Well, I think it's very hard to pinpoint why the CMOs don't stick around, because the answer or the reasons are not simple. You may be looking at like better opportunities. You may be looking at reasons of the personal nature. But one thing for sure that I'd like to point out is that from a marketing leadership perspective, we are in a transitory stage. You have marketing leaders that have been around for 20, 30 years, and they're now being asked to use tools that they never grew up with. So their transition from managing their business one way versus entirely different way will take some time. So you see some migration and some change, and that is one of the reasons that I've seen.
times they are changing, definitely. But really, really exciting to hear about your company. You're one of the first companies I've talked to that's actively building out on top of the blockchain. So it's really exciting. Love your perspectives on what you're doing. Love your ideas around really everybody's in marketing. I think we're going to have to turn that into a bumper sticker or a T-shirt. But thank you so much for being on the program today. I really appreciate it.
Sounds good.